Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to Prehistoric Kingdom Early Access. Yes, that's right. We're finally in the early access release and a lot of you guys now have your hands on the game, which I am so happy to see. I'm already seeing amazing creations happening, which is fantastic. Today, you would have seen in the thumbnail, I am building a sauropod lookout for the two new sauropods in the game, which are the Argentinosaurus and the Brachiosaurus. I thought while I'm just doing a bit of landscaping here, I would talk a little bit about those two dinosaurs. I haven't done a lot of research into these dinosaurs, so if I do get any of these facts wrong, please feel free to correct me in the comments. I'm always happy to be corrected because I am learning as I go along with this game. It's not necessarily something I thought that I would get into, learning about dinosaurs. However, I'm actually really enjoying the process, and a lot of the people in my community have been really kind to me about correcting some of the things that I've said, but also directing me to websites where I might be able to find out some more information, which I actually really have enjoyed. So the first dinosaur that I did put into this habitat here is the Brachiosaurus. It lived around 150 million years ago during the mid to late Cretaceous, the mid to late Jurassic period, because it's the Argentinosaurus that lived in the Cretaceous. Get your facts right, Swoop. I thought one of the most interesting facts that I read about the Brachiosaurus was that many scientists believe that it was I think I'm going to say this right, a gigantotherm, which basically means that it's somewhere in between warm and cold-blooded, which was really interesting to me. It was among the tallest of dinosaurs, and it had quite a thick skull and a wide muzzle that had 52 spoon-shaped teeth, which basically meant that there were 26 in the top, 26 in the bottom jaw, and they used those to kind of rip those tough sort of, I guess, plants from up high where, they're so tall that that's what they did. Whenever I think about the Brachiosaurus, I always think about the show Walking with Dinosaurs and how a lot of the sauropods in Walking with Dinosaurs cleared forest. And you'll notice a little bit later in this video, I put heaps of trees into this habitat. And then I wonder how realistic that is. Would the Brachiosaurus or the Argentinosaurus for that matter actually be knocking trees over because they're so tall, or they actually can if they want to, things like that. But I guess if they're being fed, perhaps they might not do that. Also, I'm not too sure if that was just speculation on, behalf of Walking with Dinosaurs, but it's always something that I think about whenever I think about the Brachiosaurus. So that's a little bit about them. Their name means arm lizard, and the Argentinosaurus's name, believe it or not, actually means Argentina lizard. And funnily enough, the Argentinosaurus was found its skeletons were found in Argentina. It lived in the late Cretaceous period, which was approximately 90 million years ago. Once again, it fed in a similar way to the Brachiosaurus, so on tough plant material, and had those teeth that were for grinding and chewing that tough plant material from up high. It was a sauropod, and I really like the model that Prehistoric Kingdom have gone for with the Argentinosaurus. I love how it has like the little spikes on its back, which we'll look at in the live tour shortly. Let me talk a little bit now about my building process. I will start off by telling you guys that this building was potentially one of the most annoying buildings I have ever built. Probably because, it's really my fault that it was one of the most annoying buildings. I didn't have to go quite into as much depth or detail as I did. When I get to the staircases, I've cut out the majority of the build of it because it just jumps around way too much for your eyes, and it was just painful, to be honest, building the stairs, because I decided to go uber realistic and really make the stairs go from the bottom to the top, a little bit like what you would see in buildings like that. And they do go from the bottom to the top, and they are just like how you would see stairs in buildings like this, but it was such a pain to build. I just found it so frustrating. And I also put lift shafts in both sides of the building because originally I wasn't going to have a bridge going across the river. So in order to get across the river, you were going to have to go through the Brachiosaurus viewing building. But then it didn't really make sense in theory because, it was great in theory, but it didn't make sense, I guess, once, you opened the park and you had thousands of guests roaming about because this park is huge, so you probably would have, 1,000 guests in the park at any one time. You wouldn't really want to have only this option for people just to walk through the building. You'd want people to be able to walk past, particularly if they'd already seen the Brachiosaurus and they were just trying to get to somewhere else, or if they didn't particularly want to go up into the building, they didn't like heights, whatever reason. I just realised that it's probably not the best idea to just have that option. So originally I had the stairs and lifts in there for that particular purpose, and then realised that I need to build like a bridge or something across so that people can walk from one side to the other. I also toyed around a lot with the idea of not having these high fences and actually building custom fences, because these fences are they're realistic, but they also are a bit of an eyesore, and I like things to look nice. But in the end, I actually left them. And I covered them with a lot of trees, which also probably isn't all that realistic, covering the fences with trees, because they would damage the fences, but it looks better, so I've gone with that. And I also have put some walkways or some pergolas that came with the beta version of the game, I believe. I was going to go with a new one that they gave us, but I decided to go with one that I already had because it was a little bit more simple. And then, this is the part where I'm trying to build these stairs. It was mental. It was such a nightmare to build them, to be honest. And it looks like I'm doing all right here, I knew what I wanted to do and I knew how I wanted them to look. But the whole process took me so long, and the frustrating thing was that I couldn't copy them over because they are opposites of each other for the other side. It didn't have to be opposites of each other. I could have moved the lift shaft over, but I wanted the building to look uniform. So I ended up spending a lot of time on these stairs, way longer than I probably should have, and then I ever will again. I probably will not build stairs like that ever again. This is just as I'm coming towards the end of my build of the actual building. I'm just changing up the names on the signs themselves, and then I go into the habitat and I actually fix the rocks and fix the trees and the undergrowth and things like that, just to make it look a little bit nicer to the eye when you're looking out from the building itself. I also roofed the building and made it look a little bit more realistic with some air conditioning vents and I guess some trim, so that it looks like it actually has been built with care and like it's actually a true building and not just a set of concrete that I've plopped down. I didn't originally want to have seats in the building either, but then I thought you probably would have seats there. You probably didn't want people just standing up the whole time. And then I've obviously popped a sign in for the Argentinosaurus and the Brachiosaurus both. So what I'm going to do, guys, I'll leave you with the rest of the speed build. There isn't much longer left at all, about 3 minutes in fact, maybe 4. And then I will see you on the other side for the real-time tour at the end. All right, everyone, welcome back from the speed build. Here we are in the real-time part at the end. You'll notice that the sides of this walkway are very plain and I haven't finished off the pathing yet. I'm thinking I'll do that in a stream, so never mind that. Let's just head forward like we would be a guest. So we come underneath the pergola here. We're walking behind us, directly behind us is the tropical house, and you would have probably just seen the Edmontosaurus if you were a guest. So you would come on down this way and here you are greeted with the sauropod lookout building. So you have an option to sit down and have a rest if you so desire. Let's just look at the outside of the building first. So you've got the staircase going up that way and there is a window into the staircase so it's not too claustrophobic. Then you also have a lift right here. You can have a peek through into the sauropod habitat without even going up into the building, so you don't miss out on seeing them if you really don't like heights or whatever. And you can also stand on this bridge here and look across into the Edmontosaurus habitat, so kind of get a glimpse of them. This is the Edmontosaurus building up here. You can just get a glimpse of that as well. You can kind of watch them wandering around here if you like. So you can sit down there, you can go up in the lift, or you can go up either set of stairs. There's another lift here, some more seating down this end, and then the other set of stairs here. We're going to attempt to go up the stairs. I mean, I don't know how well I'm going to do, to be honest, but we're going to go in because it took me forever to build them. Never mind the Z fighting, it was impossible to get rid of it. Then we'll go up this stair here and then turn around. I guess you could stop and look at the Edmontosaurus here if you wanted to, and then one more set of stairs up into the building itself. And here we are in this nice round sort of building with all the glass at the front, and then you have this kind of beautiful vista of the mountains. So you do have the lift in this side as well. Oops, I've forgotten to fix that lift. Let's just fix it live while you guys are here. Grab this lift and then I'm just going to bring it out. There we go. So you've got the lift you can go in if you like, and then come up into the viewing area here, and then you have this amazing view out to the Brachiosaurus and the Argentinosaurus. So if you were a guest, I'm assuming you would be very happy with this view. You've got them basically right here. They're just hanging out, laying down. You've got one over here in the background, and then you've got another one here having something to munch on. So you can really get a really good view of the Argentinosaurus and the Brachiosaurus. And I love this backdrop of the mountains as well. I'm really proud of, I've sort of made that a really big feature of this view right here. Imagine if you're a guest and you just had this dinosaur right here. It's just amazing. Saying a little hello to us. Thanks, mate. So we've really got this nice sweeping view. And then what I'll do is I'll show you guys the other part of the habitat. So there's kind of like this little back area over here, and this is their shelter. So they can fit in their shelter, but then later on when I detail the backstage area for this habitat, I wanted it to have an area where they could bring the dinosaurs in easily. So this implied door, this is all actually in-game, by the way, something that someone's already built for us in-game, and it's just a piece that I've popped down. But this door on this side is implied that it can open up, and you've got all of these kind of backstage things on this side. And then you can also open this side as well. So if you're popping the dinosaurs in, you could just bring them straight in, and then they've got like this, almost like this holding area that they could potentially like rope off if they needed to keep one in here if it was sick or it needed to be looked after and so on. And that's actually connected to the shelter itself. So you've got the shelter there and then the rest of the habitat out this way. We might just get rid of this because it's a bit of an eyesore and it's frustrating that I can't actually get rid of it in this existing park, unfortunately. I wish I could. I was given a shortcut to do it in the text of the game, but it didn't work, unfortunately, but that's fine. So there you go, guys. There is the habitat itself. It's nice and big. There's a lot of land for them. There's also the water that they can cross across. This part here is really shallow, so I have seen one go across here, but they don't actually traverse the deeper parts of the river down further. So I almost probably didn't need to have this barrier on this side, but I thought it would look quite unrealistic if I just had that completely open, because technically if they wanted to, I suppose they could walk down there, although they'd likely get stuck. So there you go. We've got these beautiful sauropods in here. I'm really happy with how the habitat turned out. and I'm even more happy with how the building itself turned out. This building was a pain to build, but I'm really happy with how it looks from this side and how it looks from the other side, the guest side. So thank you so much for tuning in, everyone. If you are enjoying my content and you want to see more Prehistoric Kingdom content in the future, please feel free to subscribe to my channel. It really would help me out. If you don't want to subscribe, I completely understand. In that case, it would be great if you could like this video and then leave a comment below letting me know how I could improve, if you would like me to do something differently. I'm always open to constructive criticism of any kind. Thanks once again, guys, and as always, I will see you in the next one, which I'll give you a little Easter egg if you have stayed this late into the video, is going to be the Smilodon. Take care, everyone. See you later. Bye.